Well, we want to introduce you to first-time author Randi Zuckerberg. New books coming out in the fall.
First
of all,
time
books.
double author.
Double author.
How
there
exciting
you go.
is that?
What are your books?
Thank you. So my books are Dot.Complicated for adults and Dot for children. I spent the last 8 years working at Facebook, building my own company in Silicon Valley, and one thing I realized is that there's this whole world that people are fascinated in. Entrepreneurship, technology, and someone just needs to demystify it for everyone else. So Dot.Complicated takes a look at this crazy tech-obsessed world that we live in and how it's changing our careers, our lives, our families.
How do you do that?
It's interesting, but I talk a lot about finding tech-life balance. There's been a lot of talk on work-life balance, but if you go home from work and you're still buried in your cell phone, if you're sitting on your laptop next to your husband at home, you're still working. You haven't really found that work-life balance. So I talk a lot about how to find tech-life balance in your home, in your job, in your love life, in kind of all areas of communication.
Are you saying turn off your devices, go off Facebook?
You know what? I think there's a time and a place for everything, but I do think that if you take a little bit of time to unplug, to remember, that there's a world when you look up from your screen and that you can enjoy it, it makes you all the more productive, refreshed, relaxed when you do return to that online world also.
Is there a danger of too much technology, too much onlineness?
I talk a lot in my book about the phenomena of being closer to friends but farther from friendship. Because we now live in this world where you can literally keep in touch with thousands and thousands of strangers or anyone you've ever met, but if you're buried in your device, you're ignoring the people who you love right next to you. And so I think we really have to be conscious. Technology, we can do amazing things with technology. It's so powerful. Facebook is such an incredible tool. We just have to remember that we own the devices, not the devices owning us.
Are people recognizing that today?
I think so. I think I've recently started to hear in the past few weeks and months a lot of chatter about the pendulums kind of going back from being 24/7 connected all the time and wanting that to people wanting some time to unplug, to disconnect. There's now all these vacations you could go on, digital detox where they collect your phone at the door. Or even there's a hotel in DC that locks your phone up when you check in.
And people are responding to this?
People want that. People are paying for that. So I think people are really they're recognizing that we're almost kind of tech addicted and tech obsessed in our culture, and that we need to kind of reclaim a little of our life back. But that also drew me to write a children's picture book, because it's not just the adults that are tech obsessed. My own 2-year-old son will literally walk up to a picture frame and swipe it and ask for Elmo or Barney. So we live in this culture where even our toddlers are tech obsessed. So I really wanted to write a children's picture book on the same topic of kind of finding tech-life balance and remembering there's a beautiful world out there too for our kids.
So when it comes to the children's book, how do you approach it?
The children's book has a strong female tech character named Dot. She's a really spunky little girl. She has her tablet and her phone, and she's Skyping, and she's talking to everyone all the time. And her mom kind of forces her to go outside into the real world. And in the second half of the book, she has all these amazing adventures in the real world that kind of echo what she's doing on all these digital devices. So it has a very happy, lovely ending.
So Randi Zuckerberg, as the former marketing director of Facebook, are you being disloyal to your old company?
No, I think Facebook is an amazing, amazing tool. I think it's used for so much good. I had a front row seat showing Facebook's role in shaping elections, in Olympics, in responding to natural disasters. I mean, even if you look at what just happened with the tornado last week and the ability for people to go onto social media and immediately provide relief, there's nothing like that in the world. I just think we need to always remember to find the balance, because you have people who you love in your life right there next to you, real people, and so it's everything in life in moderation.
What does your brother think of your approach?
I think he's really excited for the book, and we are just putting the finishing touches on it right now, so no one has read it yet, so we'll see.
Randi Zuckerberg, where'd you grow up?
I grew up right here in Westchester, New York. And
Who are your
it's great
parents?
to be back
What
in
did
New
they do?
York. My parents are both doctors. My dad's a dentist. My mom's a psychiatrist. My dad was very tech savvy from very early on. I talk about that a lot in my book, about kind of my first introductions to the magic of technology that came through my dad in his office, and just really the impact it had on our whole family. You know, obviously the impact it had with Facebook, and how that's changed all of us.
When did you get involved with Facebook?
I got involved in 2005. I was working at Ogilvy and Mather advertising agency right here in New York City, and I started to, just really hear about this amazing site that my brother had created, how much it was taking off. And I was working in digital marketing at the time. He needed someone who had some knowledge in digital marketing. It was a pretty new space. And I just went out to California, was blown away by what I saw out there. So I think, when you read my book, I had amazing experiences at Facebook. I use Facebook all the time. The book is an extremely, it's a positive, feel-good story about how technology can make our lives so much more amazing, but just also a little reminder to find balance.
You also have a website, Dot.Complicated.com.
I do. So
D-O-T, complicated.
Yes, that's right, Dot.Complicated. And it's, so in the book, because of kind of the long lead time of publishing, I didn't want to put specific apps and websites and lists. You never know in technology what might be outdated by November when the book comes out. So I also launched a companion website where people can get, updated recommendations, breakdowns of latest apps, but kind of given to you in kind of your big sister's guide to the modern world style.
So if somebody goes on the website, what are they, and they register, and what are they going to be able to consolidate, or what are they going to be able to find?
So the first thing, we have a twice weekly newsletter that you'll get that kind of breaks down everything that's going on in the modern world, the latest tech, how tech can help in your family, in your life, in your career. We're also going to be launching our broader website around the same time as the book, and you'll be able to get lots of great content from our team, from guest writers, and kind of join the community a little more in depth then too.
And Dot is also coming out in November?
That's right, they're both coming out November 5th, just in time for the holidays. So hopefully folks who are considering what to get for their tech-obsessed friends and family for the holidays can now have an adult book and a children's picture book.
And we've been talking here on Book TV with new author Randi Zuckerberg, Dot.Complicated and Dot, both coming out in November.
Thanks.